Good morning. Today I want to talk to you briefly about something that affected the lives of our family a few years back. I'll start out with the bad news. Our son, in July 26, 2015, lost his life riding a motorcycle and sitting at an intersection when an intoxicated driver ran into him from the rear. It was complicated by the fact that he was living in a suburb of Detroit, and there was a lot of distance between him and us, my wife. But we, of course, went up there and tended to his belongings and closing out his apartment, his car, and all his obligations. It was as you could imagine, a very stressful, difficult time for our family. He was our only son, born when we were in the Army, and it was heartbreaking to lose him. He had really turned into my best friend. I guess sons can graduate from that. But anyway, I can remember having strong feelings about wanting justice to be served for our son. I can remember the feelings of, I don't want to call it hatred, but maybe loathing against the young man that did the crime. Not only did he run him over when he was intoxicated, but he, according to witnesses, attempted to flee and was stopped. When we went up to Michigan on one of the occasions, it was a court appearance, we had an opportunity to meet with the family. We didn't ask for this meeting. They came up to us and apologized profusely, including the young man that did the crime, keeping in mind that he was actually intoxicated at the time. We were seeing, I guess you might say, a sober version of that whole family. The parents had tears in their eyes. Many of the people that were there in support of the young man were in his church. I'd say he had a gallery of 25 to 30 people, not causing any disturbance, just there as a sign of support. And he was, during the court hearing, he was convicted and sent to prison for a period of about 3 years. And that was in context with the law about vehicular homicide. Time went by, he went to prison. There was also a restitution demand that the court placed on him to pay back for our son's funeral. And we received several checks, small ones, large ones, and the restitution was paid in about a year. And then, we got the call from the parole board in Michigan advising us, not asking us, advising us that he was going to be released on parole after about 2.5 years of prison time. Well, that was the time when the soul searching came in. I think I have to admit, I was the first one to come up with these thoughts, but my wife quickly followed. How should we react to him being released on parole? Should we demand that he stay in prison until the last moment of his sentence? Or is there a better way that we could view this thing and handle it? And that better way, as Lincoln said, the better angels of our nature, kind of prevailed in my mind. And that was this: I don't want to hold loathing, something bordering on hate in my mind and my soul for the rest of my life. Our son was a huge loss, but more importantly, what's the retribution? What sense does it make to hate and loathe somebody for what they did or failed to do? Like I said, he was intoxicated. He is young, somewhat undisciplined, but nonetheless, he comes from a good family. We met the family, and he was indeed sorrowful about the whole thing. And at no time during the court trial did they try to do any end arounds or plays. Basically, he got signed his medicine and he took it. So what's going to happen for the rest of this young man's life? I'd say with the family he has and the friend support he has a chance of recovering and becoming a model citizen. To what extent, who knows? But instead of holding that burden of hatred or disgust or loathing in our hearts, we took the position that he has the odds, considering his family and his friends, he has the odds of becoming a good citizen and letting, even with the loss of his of our son and his action that caused it. So why not take an opportunity? I think, thinking what our son would want to do, I know my son, he would have suggested some kind of clemency and dropping all the pretense of hatred and loathing and let life go on. I found, and Kathy found, that this unburdened our souls quite a bit, and we are able to go back and visit our son's grave on a regular basis. But we don't think about this young man or his family, we think about our son and the loss. And I think that's the place I want to be. I don't want to be filled with hatred and loathing and carry that for the rest of my life. I felt release when we took this position. Again, it was not a matter of granting them permission, it was granting ourselves permission to drop the hate and the loathing. So that said, we look back now and we look back on the good things that we had with our son, the good times, the goodness of his heart, and life is going to go on. Thank you.